Hi there, the Thirsty Power, and do the right thing. As usual, uh, most of all, what I wanted to talk about today and do the comment of is probably about two things, which I think is really also important and for most of all of us and Philippines, Philippine people, is you know everything what was going on at this moment in time is very confusing and too much for some people to take in at the same time, but because everything is happening so fast, and some people they have so many questions and so many this, so many that, and get confused. You know, President he just President Duterte just took over the office not long ago, and everybody should give him a bit more time to do what he promised to achieve his goals and to um, finish exactly what he promised at first, and to continue and to move on to some other work he has, because there's so much to do in the Philippines for one president, which he just took over not so long ago. He has to clear all the mess other people for so long hasn't done and hasn't been cleaned up and has been ignoring and everything. So, people should be more understanding, and this, even this media and this stupid people just after him all the time criticizing. So, I just hope the people is the ones to understand and realize it instead of some politics of criticizing and what the president is doing, because that's exactly what some others will criticize someone who's doing the right thing. And if some other politics don't have any things to hide and anything to be worried about, they shouldn't be against the president. They should be helping and supporting and everything. Not making a war against the president. Not making a war of accusing and everything. If it's only government and president, wouldn't they should be all together, all united? This politics on the parliament on the Philippines, wouldn't they supposed to be like supporting each other? Isn't it this for the people and for the country of the Philippines? Or some people, they think like this kind of politics think this only for themselves or their personal vendetta, you know. So at this time, it's like, let's think about it in a sense of, is this for the good of our country? Why others start questioning and making more problem to the president than supporting him for what he's doing, helping him for what he's trying to do and for what he's trying to achieve for the people of the Philippines and for the country itself. So we have the same thing over here as these kind of countries all over the world is like that. It's always two parties fighting against each other, which I don't see the sense of. Instead of fighting against each other, yes, why don't you work together as one? It's like some people, let's say if we build a bridge, start building a bridge, and I want that bridge to reach the other side. But I have only half of materials and I can build half of it. And the other part has the other half of the materials. So they're the ones who has to also build the other half of the bridge for us to meet up together and then for us to be able to cross over to each other's places. But over here is like, it's a collision of, someone is doing the right thing and doing good to the country and for the people and everything. And some others put in like bad and comments and calling names and everything to the person who's trying to do good. So the only thing those people trying to do bad and comment bad and plus medias and everything is about the people not to be brainwashed for this kind of comments for the bad people is doing. It's similar to, let me put it's similar to something. It's like we have two things in our lives, good and bad. And it's like devil and God. So if we see who's doing the good and who's trying to put the bad against the good. So it's like the devil is fighting against God. And this kind of situation at the same time is like, one party is fighting the other because one is doing the right things, cleaning up the country, making it better for the first time in so many years, which I don't remember any president in the Philippines making this kind of way of for his own people, the care, the love, the everything he has for his own country and his own people, and the other part of it is like devil's work making something worse. And he didn't want him to finish the good part, which is God's will for him to finish his part. And these people are that devil. They will never win in anything because they have something to hide. They've done a lot of things in the past and they are afraid of the other person who's going to find out, and they're going to find out what these people has been doing. And that's what they are afraid. When you know yourself, you are clean and you've never done anything wrong, you don't have nothing to worry about. But when somebody has something to worry about, it means they are on the wrong side of the law, or they have been doing something in the past bad, and they are afraid the other person is going to catch up, and then they're going to be discovered. But anyway, let's move on to this. So most of it, also what I wanted to mention is about the army. The army we have in the Philippines. We do need more to recruit more army to be into like recruiting and to be more and expand more army in the Philippines. It doesn't mean also just man, but also women can do the same thing as men can do. In a lot of things, women can do a lot of things, and why not? Plus we shouldn't be saying looking for a lot of qualifications, which I really don't agree on the Philippines in this kind of sense. Is like so many people, so many the companies, they need a lot of requirements to give a job to someone. This should be stopped. If somebody can do the job, it doesn't have to have big qualifications to be someone. They should be able to give a chance to prove themselves. They can do the work without any qualifications from school or anything like that. A lot of people cannot afford to keep studying and everything. So we should stop this kind of business of a lot of companies not employing someone because they don't have no qualifications to do a job. Hello? To sell clothes, you don't need a qualification. To be a salesperson, you don't need a qualification. To be a floor person and, attending someone, and for you to sell, you don't need a qualification to do that kind of job. So why do a lot of companies like SM, Robinsons, and some other big companies there need for people to do that? And the other one, which I don't agree with, the companies is doing, when you are employed, you are the one who has to pay for it. Okay, you have to pay for even the form you are applying for. You have to pay for it. You have to pay for your own uniform. And why is that? Why do we are applying for a company to work with? Why the person who's applying has to pay for it? The company is the one who's recruiting people. They should be the ones to provide everything for the person. So that's the company responsibility to their employers, okay, to do this. And I would love the president to stop this kind of companies doing this kind of explosion, exploring people, which it makes very hard for Filipinos to find a work, find a job, or stuff like that. So for me, I hope one day, I know that's what the president will do. At the moment, he's so busy concentrating on some other things, but it's so much work to be done, and hopefully he will get there. But he just has to be stopped. These big companies also, because they do the big frauds all over the Philippines. And people who's bringing business into the Philippines. Also, we have to look into it. What kind of people and what kind of benefits these people is getting it. you know, and instead of the benefits of the employers, giving a lot of benefits to the employers, the rights to the employers, and not only 6-month contract, you know, like they do. If you are good of doing something, if you are good of doing that work, why do we have to employ them? You just have only 6 months and then you have to reapply it. Just because they don't want to pay holidays to that person. Just because of what? After 6 months, you're terminated. That's not really right and that's not really fair. So I do hope on the future coming, that will be stopped. And this is what my video at the moment was about, and it was about also the army. Also, I wanted to be like more recruit the army, support more the army, and give them more equipment, because that's what they need. Also, more equipment to be worked with, and to be able to do the work and recruit it a bit more, and the army side, and being looking after them really a bit better than what we are doing at this moment in time. And I'm sure the president will do that, because the army is really important in every country we have. Reason because they also defend a lot of people, and people doesn't realize it, what the army does. I understand some places army is a lot of corrupted and corruption, and people who cares about the army, this and that. But at this moment in time, we have the right president, we have the right person to stop the corruption and to stop people doing something silly, even police, which I'm so happy what's going on at this moment in time. So hopefully, you know, in a few years' time, Philippines is the beautiful place to live in, which it already is. It already is a beautiful place to live in. And people, they are also amazing, and, you know, gets better for the people in the country, the Filipino people in the country. And let's make people, they want to work, but we cannot make them pay to apply for a job. This is the wrong thing. We cannot make someone pay for applying for a job. You don't have to have so much qualifications to clean the street or to be a floor person, like I said before, working on the SM, you know, selling clothes or do anything like that, or mopping in the floor or do anything. It doesn't matter whatever you do. We shouldn't be paying for applying for work. This is wrong. And we shouldn't be giving contracts for 6 months only. We should give contracts for whatever time we have on the company, and give the benefits to the people who lives and works over there. For now, do the right thing. Peace. And peace and love, and hopefully, you know, we're gonna have a beautiful country in a few years' time, which is going already on that direction. So hopefully, anyway, I might do another video, and soon I will be going to Philippines. I'm so happy in a few months' time. I just come back from there for a while ago, but soon I'll be home, and cannot wait. But for now, just do the right thing, and peace, and support the charity always. Take care. Bye bye.